I, Belial, was tending to my house in the land of Sedima, when suddenly a knock came to my front door. When I opened the door, soldiers sent by the emperor seized me by the arms. I knew the reason for which they had been sent, for I had failed to pay the monthly taxes to Emperor Shavit. Even though I did not resist them, they still insisted on dragging me across the sand, as if I were struggling against them. The guards brought me before the throne of Shavit, and dragging me by my shirt they tossed me to the ground. Emperor Shavit then said to me, Belial, do you know why we've summoned you to our throne? And I said, yes. And he replied, we have not received one coin from you these past 11 months. Are you prepared to face the consequences? But I held my tongue. Then Shavit gestured with his hand to the guards standing beside me, and they took me again by my shoulders. I knew I was going to be taken to the dungeon. Now they had taken me to the dungeons which are under Shavit's palace. And being locked in a cell, waiting for my execution, I reached in my pocket for my prayer medallion. The medallion had an image of the precursor Toniel engraved on it. So I prayed to Toniel, crying out in tears, saying, King of Amnia, hear my cry. Deliver me from this cell of death. I swear to follow the light all the days of my life if you deliver me from this doom. While I was praying, I heard the roar of the sand wyvern echoing from the cave of the dungeon. The guards eventually came to take me into the cavern where they held the sand wyvern. The sand wyvern breathes more flames than any of the other species of wyverns in the land of Sedima. The custom of the city was this: anyone who is cast into the dungeon will be executed by the flames of the breath of the sand wyvern. And this was my fate. When I was cast into the cavern, there slept the sand wyvern in the center, having its neck chained to the steel wall behind it. Surrounding the top of the cavern was a ledge, where there stood armed archers, ready to shoot me if the wyvern did not kill me. The gate was locked behind me, and the wyvern opened its eyes and stood up because of the sound of the gate closing. As the wyvern spread out its wings and turned its glare toward me, my body became weak because of the terror. I buried my face in the sand and put my hands on my head, for the fear overcame me. Looking up, I could see the flames brewing up in the belly of the wyvern, like a glowing lamp. Then a great voice came to me from Amnia, saying, You promised to follow the light all the days of your life. Therefore I will deliver you from death if you swear once more. For if you fail to follow the light, you will die on the spot. And I said, I swear. At that exact moment, the wyvern choked on its own flames, and it dropped dead in the sand. And as the archers above readied their bows, being very confused, a bright light appeared above the dead wyvern, blinding the guards. And all the guards and archers in the chamber died. Then within the light I could see a figure of a man in a white cloak, and the figure had wings. And the voice spoke again, This is my servant, Angelus. Follow him. Then I stood on my feet and went into the light, and the esper wrapped its wings around me. I appeared before the empyrean seat. And, behold, I saw with my own eyes the espers of light in their full forms, Angelus, Maya, and Virga. I fell upon my face. Then Angelus spoke, saying unto me, Follow me. And I was taken to the sanctuarium. Behold, the great throne was before me, and sitting on it was Toniel. All around me was a mist of great lights, and the floor beneath my feet was like quartz embellished with many precious stones. Pillars stood on either side of the corridor, connecting to bright clouds that moved back and forth above the hall. Flashes of lightning and thunder shot out from the throne, and the light thereof allowed me to see the figure of Toniel. The throne was lifted up on a bright cloud, from which the flashes of lightning proceeded. I fell face down on the floor. And Toniel said, Belial, raise your head. I could only raise my head to look at him because he had granted it to me. Behold, he had long white hair and silver eyes, and he wore a long silver cloak, which reflected the light of the hall. Toniel said unto me, You have sworn to me that you will follow the light all the days of your life. Now I shall reveal to you many things about Imperia, and you will see things that no man can describe. I have chosen to show you these things so that you may write them down, and they will be known by those who believe what you've written. I send my esper, Angelus, to lead you." After he said this, Angelus descended before me. The esper's face was hidden behind a glorious light, which was covered by the hood of his golden cloak. And his wings unfolded from behind him, and he grabbed my wrist. Then I was lifted up off the floor, and I soared across the halls until I was at the entrance. When I looked back, I could not fathom the sight of the place. Even now I struggle to find the words that could describe what I saw. The sanctuarium was glorious to behold. It was radiating with marvelous light and perfect beauty and splendor. And while I gazed upon the sanctuarium and the glory with which it was adorned, I found my heart to be overwhelmed with a deep and powerful sense of longing. Then I saw a beautiful bride, pure and holy. And she was brought up in a crystal of light from a world of another kind. Antoniel said to me, "This bride shall be my queen, and followers of the light shall bow to her as they do before me. I shall share my glory with her, for she shall be called my wife and the queen of Amnia. Her place shall be in the sanctuarium with me. Her heart and soul, and even her spirit, shall be joined to my spirit through the soul and spirit of the dawn star, as a sign that his spirit is born of mine." And after this, Toniel brought my head back out of the pool of mist. And he said unto me, "Now I shall show you an even greater vision, one any follower of the light could only dream to see." And he placed my head back into the mist of light. Behold! I saw with my own 2 eyes the prophecy's fulfillment, the dawn star. There was a man robed in perfect light, and before him was the darkness made manifest. And by his marvelous light did he overcome the darkness. And so from those days after there will be no more evil, and the darkness shall lose its grip on the heart of man. For this reason is the man called the dawn star, for in his wake a new day shall begin for man. At last there will be balance in the worlds. But let this mystery be revealed to the reader, the dawn star will be the soul of 2, yet he shall be as one. Let the reader from ages ahead understand.